Good morning. This is Dennis Pearce with the Pickett Street team, and I'm here with our auction team leader. This is John McCants. And John's going to talk to us a little bit today about what the auction process is and kind of give you the overview of how to go about purchasing a home at auction. This is kind of the intro piece, so we're not going to get too far into the details. We just want you to have kind of the overall view of how this works. So John, what can you tell us about an auction and property and kind of where do they come from? What happens?
It's real simple, Dennis. Going once, twice, 3 times sold, baby. They're done, right? You know, how do you get from there to get this? Well, a trustee sale is kind of a unique one. What it really is, it goes back to kind of like the English common law. When you borrowed money, if you didn't pay your bills, they could take back your assets. So in this case, what happens in Washington State, it's based on that old English law where the bank has the power to sell your house. If you don't pay the bills, keep insurance, you know, and pay the taxes.
So what's the difference between, say, an auction property and, you know, now we're seeing all these HUD homes and we're seeing, you know, short sales and all. What's the difference between all of those different properties?
It kind of gets confusing, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, there's just a lot of things to keep track of.
Yeah. So I was confused too to begin with, way back almost 20 years ago, and I started following pre-foreclosures. You know, people got default, they get on that notice of trustee sale or notice of auction list, and I'd start following those houses, and eventually, you know, I got tired of doing it and followed the house all the way to the auction, and that's something that happens every Friday in each county in Washington State. Typically happens at 10 o'clock, though they can hold the sales from like 9 till 5. It starts at about 10 and it's over with within an hour or two. And so what's really happening there is that there's a list in the county that's published in the county records that we get that information out 90 days in advance, and we just wait till the auction comes up. It is the pure sale of a property. A lot of the other auctions you see, Dennis, what they really are is it's gone through that auction. And now it's a HUD home, it's a VA home. A lot of the banks, when they take homes back at the auction we're talking about, trustee sale, end up auctioning their houses off. And everybody thinks, well, that's the auction. No, there's all kinds of auctions. Post office, sheriff.
Okay, so can anybody go to the auction?
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. It's happening every week, and there's rarely that many people there. You know, 20, 30, 40 people, and there's what, millions of people living in this area.
Right.
It's a little competitive market, but no, it's open. It has to happen out in a public place. Can't be behind closed doors. Has to be in the place where it was published in that notice, that 90-day notice called the Notice of Trustee Sale. And so it's happening in Snohomish County at the courthouse. In King County it happens at the courthouse, and over in Bellevue. And there's usually, you know, couple dozen, 3 dozen people at each one of those locations bidding on houses or watching that process happen.
Okay, so we're seeing all of these properties, you know, nowadays being taken back by the bank. I mean, a lot of people, the short sales again, the HUD homes, those are becoming very prevalent. So what is happening as far as how many of these end up at auction? I mean, is it really an opportunity, or is this just something that only those limited few on the know can get?
No, that's a great question, and there is a huge opportunity. I think the public now, because of the computer technology, finding this information easier, it's just hard to discern what it really is. And so this week, for example, there's about 350 houses on the list, if you will, that were published to sell on May 6th, if you will. If that's the date, May 6th. A lot of those homes actually had that specific date. Some were scheduled for February, March, and April, but got postponed. And so there's, you know, probably going to be over 100 houses sell in Snohomish County this week. 80 or 90 of them will sell back to the bank, become reverted to the bank. The beneficiary become REOs. 10, 15, 20, maybe 5 or 6 will sell to homeowners, investors like us.
Okay, and what drives the pricing on these properties at auction?
From the bank or from the bidder's standpoint of view?
Well, I mean, specifically from the bidder's standpoint, I mean, how am I going to know if I'm getting a good deal, and how am I going to be able to have an idea as to what I'm getting into?
I think that's the whole concept of an auction. When you go to an auction, you're thinking it's a good deal, right?
Absolutely.
You know, when you go to garage sailing, I mean, they're kind of auctioning off their stuff for pennies on the dollar. The trustee sales I have found are definitely wholesale purchases. Even if we get competitive and we bid up against some other people, we're all bidding up to a number that's in the money for us. Okay? And so the bid or the opening dollar amount that the bank is putting out there is either what they're owed, or they've reduced it down to a number that says we don't want it back for what we're owed. We'll never sell get it down to a price that's wholesale, and then we all bid on it.
I see.
And so we're all trying to either make money or get into these houses with instant equity. And homeowners are finding these as much now as investors because they see a wholesale opportunity.
So you feel that this truly is wholesale pricing?
Yeah, we go out and look at my car. What's it say out there? Buy wholesale. And so I've been doing it for almost 18 years, and that's why you guys asked me to come in here, to help you guys, because you've seen your buyers and your investors starting to find that action at the courthouse steps on a weekly basis every Friday where the county is selling off people's houses.
Absolutely. Well, it's a great opportunity. I think that's something that we really need to let folks know about, and I think we're more than happy to educate them.
Yeah, no, we're actually investors.
So.
Yeah, we're actually investors ourselves, and we represent people. And so I think if you're going to have someone that's going to help you, have somebody that's in the game, have someone that knows this wheel inside and out, and can help you get on track.
Perfect. Good deal. Well, thank you very much, John. Really appreciate it.
Cool. We're looking forward to working further with you guys and some of our new people coming in.
Absolutely. Come on down. We've got classes going on a monthly basis teaching folks about the auctions, and we'd love to see you there.